Discovery, go at throttle up. Discovery, go at throttle up.
Okay, all right, that's enough. That's enough of the hold music. I'll stop. All right, I just want to see how many times people would be like, did I buy a new frame rail yet? No. Welcome. No, I have not. Welcome to part 28 of the crew cab charger, where we are still working on the frame rails. I think I found the last bit of rust on the parts of the frame rails that we are working on. I can't speak for the rest of it, but I think we're okay. I think. You finished those errands? Errands? Did you buy another truck yet? I did. It's outside. How do you know about that? How do you know about that? You bought another truck? Well, yeah, I showed it to you guys yesterday. Does Brimo know? I would hope so. It's sitting in our backyard. Yeah. It's the Dodge Ram that I was telling you guys about. Is it covered in rust? Yes, it is, actually. Yes. Dodge! Dodge! Yeah, I needed a 5.7 Hemi for the Coronet. Better have a Cummins. No, it has a Gen 3 5.7 Hemi. 2004. 70,000 original miles, dude. Hey, Heitor. Buenos días, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? What's that, Dread? That thing got a Hemi? It damn right it got a Hemi in it. Did you mean the Charger? Because that's got a Hemi too. You understand the reasoning. Parts, yeah. You'd think I'd buy a Dodge truck to drive around? SVO? Don't insult me. Don't insult me like that again. Don't screw with me again, Pile! What's that going? That motor is bigger than the one that I got. That's a little bigger. I mean, you love the space shuttle though. So what do you mean? The space shuttle's amazing. Oh, that's a generator engine. It's a diesel, boy. Oh yes, very nice. How many filters do you need? Yes. Oh, you lifted that thing. Oh. So you guys see how the crane here, this crane has the crane mats? You kind of need those. See the mats that the thingies are on? You need those. And see the flat surface? That is really good when you're picking up something extraordinarily heavy, like that big Kohler generator right there. It's kind of, it's kind of useful to do that. Yeah, that way it doesn't tip over. You probably should do that. Oh, baby, look at this. Look at this. Look at this thing. Whoa, wait a minute. How what is Levin? Good evening, mate. How are you? Good luck. May the welds be good to you. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. I'll see if I can, see if we can improve our welding skills today, mate. Should be better. How many turbos are on this? Haven't you seen this before? I am very unfamiliar with generator motors. I know that this is a diesel, and I know that it's a Kohler diesel. And that's about it. It's got an alternator on it. Is this a V20? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's like a tank engine, dude. May the welds be with you. Gracias. Gracias. That's a generator engine, man. See the generator over here? That is a big, hefty boy. Is that the new engine? No. I don't think that'll fit. I think we'd have to do some really, really big modifications. How many is this a compound turb ski right there? Is that what I'm looking at? I see 3 turbochargers up there. You know, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Very similar to the 4 motors that can run our data center in case of power loss. Believe that, yeah. The Hemi is going in the car. What's going in the truck? Nothing. The truck's the drivetrain on the Dodge that I got is fine. It will not pass vehicle inspection. It's way too rusty. It's about as rusty as the Dodge. Frame seems okay. The cab and the bed are shot. So my neighbor's like, "Oh, I'm gonna part it out." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take the engine." So that's Charlie. You guys saw him on stream one time. He's cool. Charlie is the type of neighbor that if I'm leaving out of my driveway and he's in his front yard, like mowing the lawn or something, he will stop the lawnmower and say, "Hey, light it up." Charlie's cool. We like him. He makes 3,500 kilowatts. Yeah, okay. What is that going to power? So the 5.7 Hemi that I'm talking about is going in the Coronet. That is an industrial power generator, Graham. So this is like what you'd have when the grid goes down. That's a backup generator to keep like a data center or an industrial building going. That thing can generate, well, 3.5 megawatts. That's a lot of power for something that small. That can generate that's a pretty good power plant. That no. You said 3,500 kilowatts. Yeah. No, that's a lot. That's a good amount of power. I always get my wattage all screwed up, and I don't know why. I know the differences, but it just doesn't sit right in my head. That's the sort of thing a hospital would have. Yes, precisely. It's an industrial generator. 3,500 kilowatt power. That's a lot. 3,500 kilowatts is enough to keep like 4 or 5 houses going indefinitely. Like, this is 4 or 5 houses with 200 amp service, like with air conditioners, you know, hot water heaters. That's a lot. That could power this thing could power a small neighborhood, which is pretty cool. This is the kind of engine you'd find in like a diesel electric locomotive. It's a big motor. These things aren't really put in vehicles. That's too big to be in any vehicle. It has a 9,600 gallon fuel tank that goes with it. So not only can that power a small neighborhood, but it'll power a small neighborhood indefinitely for a very long period of time. All right. Austrian, not Australian. Oh, you know, if I could read better, then my jokes would have made more sense. But Austrian is good too. Yeah, that's very good. That is the home of Glock. Quite nice, if you ask me.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
And Steyr. Yeah, und Steyr. Steyr is good. Yeah. Anyway, cool, man. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's late over there. So, wait a minute, Livin'. It'd be guten Abend. Yeah? Glock perfection until you find a CZ. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit of a boomer when it comes to pistolas. I like 1911s. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't care. I like 1911s. Hey, Spiffy, 56-month resub. Colt knew it. Of course. Look, man. Somebody's in your house. You hit him with a 45. That's it. That's it. That's it. The 1911 was the first pistol you fired. Me too, SVO. That was the first steel I've ever shot. Walter PPK, 7.65 millimeter. Only 3 men know use such a gun, Tessa. I believe I've killed 2 of them. I got the Australian gags. Right, out, mate. All right. Perfect. Good choice. Wish I had one. I like... So, okay. All right. There's a method to my madness with 1911s, okay? I'm a big dude. I'm a big guy. Like, I'm not going to brandish a firearm on stream unless it's an airsoft gun, but, like, the 1911 fits in my hand perfect. I can control that thing. 45 is not, like, something like a smaller person. Like, I wouldn't recommend that as, like, something that you carry around. Like, that big of iron, I wouldn't do that. But I can... That fits in my hand perfect. I like 1911s. I can handle the recoil because I'm a bigger dude. That's mostly because I'm fat and out of shape and, you know, mass, equal and opposite reactions, etc., etc. Right? Like, how'd you do with a 44? A 44 Magnum is hard to manage, dude. I have to, if I have a 44, you got to fire it. I got to fire it two-handed, like this. Two-handed, squared. Like a 1911, I don't need to do that. You can do that like this. But there's a lot more powder behind a 44 Magnum than there is a 45 ACP. 45 ACP is like this much. 44 Magnum is like that much. If you're fat and out of shape, I'm Jabba the Hutt. Well, I'm a big guy. Like, I can handle that, dude. So, like I said, there is a method to my madness. Like, I'm not just one of those guys that saw Saving Private Ryan and was like, I want one of those. I mean, kind of, but I missed the AX4 launch, but watch the replay. I'm dying. Or no, that was my favorite part of that, dude. The so good, dude. That made me laugh so much, man. Yeah, 44 is tough to handle. That's a big freaking gun. Like 44 Magnums are like a long barrel 44. That's a huge gun. Like, it's almost as big as a Desert Eagle, man. I have shot one of those, but the Desert Eagle that I shot was chambered. It wasn't the 50 AE. What are the other calibers? I think it's 44 and 357. I think I shot a 44 Desert Eagle. It's a big gun. That's a big gun. It's a big thing to handle. Like a 1911 is a perfect size for me. Just you know, like. Ended up falling asleep to the Counter-Strike stream. I wanted to watch the AX4 launch. It was pretty good. I'm a smaller dude, but 44s also felt natural. Like, yeah. I mean, if you're looking to, like, carry, like, a 38 Special is pretty good. That's a pretty good, like, kind of all-around. Or something chambered in 40 S&W, like Glock. Like the 40 S&W Glock, but yeah. My neighbor has got an early 1950s Steyr and still uses it for light duties on the farm. Living Steyr's pretty good, man. And Glock. I mean, they're pretty, Steyr's pretty good, man. I, of course, come from Counter-Strike, the Counter-Strike world, once upon a time, so the Steyr AUG has always been my... That's pretty cool. I like those. But Steyr makes good rifles, too. My favorite is Judges. You can put 45 Long Colt in them in a 410 shell. That's a lot of... 45 Long is... I mean, I don't know, man. That's cool. I don't need that big of a caliber. 45 ACP is fine with me. Shot a 44 mag revolver, but not an auto. Yeah, 44, man. You better hope you hit with the first shot, because, you know, 45, you can just, you know. You're a CZ hipster? You would be. What do you got, like a 52 or something? The biggest problem with the 44 is that you got to ask yourself, did I fire 5 times or 6? You ever shot a 6-shooter? The second gun I shot was a 44 Magnum. And then a 357 right after it. So yeah, absolutely. You need more bullets than 5 or 6. They make 1911s that have bigger magazines, dude. I'm just saying. I don't have 7 in the mag, 1 in the pipe, dude. We got a little bit more than that. You have a 22? 22 is great, man. Great little thing. 22 LR is fun to shoot. 1911 drum. I don't know what you're going to do with that, but you want to get an M1 through the CMP. Yeah, dude, M1s. Ding! Never shot one of those, dude. SKSs are good, Joe. Yeah. Once upon a time, ammunition was cheap. I don't know if it's cheap nowadays, but I remember back in the day, I'd go up with my buddy in New Hampshire, and we would shoot his SKS around and like go buy bullets like it was candy. But that was 20 years ago, so. Your list AR-15, 22 long, can kill flies, 12 gauge, 38 special, 30-06. Good call. Good call. Yeah, baby. So I like bigger calibers because I'm a bigger dude. I can handle the bigger caliber. It's not a big deal. Like, not that a smaller person couldn't. Like, you don't need a cannon to freaking defend yourself. But yeah, like I said, I like 1911s. Whoops. Oh, very nice. Nice SVO. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Shall we car, my dudes? I'm capping, but if you did, I'd have a Glock with an extended mag. Glocks are excellent for defending yourself because you know, if you get one that's chambered in like 9x19 or something, just you know. You'd love to have a crack on an old school hand crank Gatling gun. Yes, I've seen them. I've never shot one. I've seen them though. 5.7 came with 2 magazines, 20 rounds each. 5.7's pretty cool. Ammo though. But then again, shotgun will defend you in a home scenario. Yeah. Yeah, of course it would. How much weight are you going to lose from sweating today? Yes. All right. Shall we? I'm going to shut all the lights off in here. Going to shut the lights off in here. Try to keep it cool as best as we can. I've already raised the temperature 4 degrees in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at this video quality. This is great. All right. I reset everything out there so that... Yeah, baby. All right. All right, let's do this. Stand by for loss of signal from the office, as expected. Okay, how we looking? Five by 5 and in sync. All right, excellent. Oh, no, not that camera, not yet at least. All right, so we're back out in the shop. It's hot as balls in here, but we got to get work done. I am way behind where I wanted to be with this thing, like way behind. I wanted to have the trunk burned in by the 4th of July, and that's not happening. Yeah, you can blame my L3 vertebrae for that one. So, all right, where are we? So we last left off by me crappily welding in a patch panel into the frame rail on the passenger side back here. That's what the welding camera, the matrix cam. Down, 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 down. How's L3 feeling? I am fine, guys. Like, I'm good. Like, see? I wouldn't have been able to do that a week ago. But yeah, I basically spent a good amount of last weekend hanging upside down on an inversion table, and I let everything realign. So yeah, I'm good. I have no back pain. That's not to say that it won't come back. It probably will. But yeah, so. Yeah, you see that? Like, dude, like, right there, dude, we could like roundhouse kick somebody. So that's not to say that I won't hurt it again. I probably will, but. Roadhouse. Yeah. Back pain. Better than butt pain. Yeah. That's right. Simmer down, Jackie Chan. This ain't rush hour. Jackie, kick the door. Oh, Jackie again? No problem. Just rush hour. Is there a problem, officer? All right. Anyway. So like, yeah, I'm good. I did an ollie on a skateboard yesterday on stream. Like, I'm all right. So, all right, where are we at? So I got that patch panel burned in. It's not the best. That's where we last left off. This weld is absolutely terrible because there's really no good spot to get in here and try and weld this, but the patch ain't going anywhere, dudes. Like, we got good pin on most of the welds, and it looks like there's some pinholes here and there that we got to patch up. We also got to redo this part right here. I got to cut this out. I'm going to raise you guys up so you can see it a little bit better. This part right here is rotted through. This is where the leaf spring perch comes in. We got to patch it a little bit more, and then there's a couple of pinholes around here. Like, I think you guys can see one right down there, right there. We got to patch it, and then we got to prep the leaf spring perch to go in. We decided last stream that we should probably replace this thing, which is fine. That's okay. We can do it. We have the technology. We did it with the other one. And as long as I use my markings down on the floor down there, if you see that strip of tape right there, yeah, we have a location of this. Now, stuff that I did do a little bit off stream, the Vivitar. There's Vivitar cam. Stuff that I did do is I aligned everything here. I double checked this to make sure that that was plumbed to the marks, and I remeasured everything here with the frame, and I figured out that this frame rail was in fact riding a little bit low, just a tiny bit. So what I did last week was I put a jack on this and I raised it to where it needed to be, and then I left it like that basically all last week, and now everything is aligned. We are perfectly level across here. If I take a level and put it across the frame rails, we're level there, and that thing is perfectly plumbed to the mark. So this frame rail, because it really wasn't connected to anything, and who knows how long it hasn't been connected to anything, that was riding a little bit low. Because, yeah, once again, it wasn't really connected to anything back here. The frame rail is supposed to go back to here, but that part is, you want to see what that part looked like? Here it is. Yeah, this piece was right here. We got to make a new piece today, or maybe later, but that's not great. Now, one of the things that I did do over the weekend I went to an auto show a little ways away from me, dudes, and there, believe it or not, there was a 1970 Coronet RT. Actually, it was a Coronet 500, which is the same exact car as mine, but it was a two-door convertible, painted in the same color. I didn't take a picture of it, though, because I had the dog with me, so Titan was really thirsty because it was insanely hot over the weekend. So I was more focused on making sure my dog didn't die of thirst. Starlink mission is about to launch. So I did get some reference shots of what everything under there is supposed to look like. I did take pictures underneath the car. And it wasn't anything that I didn't know, but it was good to have reference. And I must say that there was a lot of this car missing. Like a lot of this car missing. When's that? Yeah, there's supposed to be the Starlink 10-16 mission. I think it got moved, guys. I think it's at 3 o'clock now. Yeah, that's why I went out to the garage, or else we would have covered it, but. Okay, so we got ourselves some time until that Starlink pops up. We'll cover it out here in the shop. So I did get some reference. I got some good reference out back, and I kind of know how this all needs to go together. Like I said, we are level. It's the frame rails are nice and level, and everything is plumb. Everything is plumb straight. This mark is probably, well, no, that mark is a little bit off now because I leveled the frame rail. It's just a teeny bit off, but it's still within tolerances. Now that's what I did do off stream. Like I said, I remeasured everything and made sure everything was plumb before we burn in the other leaf spring. But yeah, everything's good here, man. There's nothing to it but to do it, man. So, hey Mike, what's going on? So where do we start? There is still some pinholes in this thing that we should probably fix. Let me bring up the welding cam. And let me get a light here. You're live and awake? Good, man. Yeah, that's not the best, dude. I'm really not proud of that, but it'll work. There is a couple of pinholes here and there that I missed, a couple of spots that I missed up in there. But the other thing that we got to do is cut this bad boy out and replace that piece, because this part of the frame rail is toast, the frame rail flange. This right here is patched, and this part is patched too. That part is patched. The only piece that I haven't patched on this back part of the frame rail is right there. So we'll get her done, and we'll get going. All right, I think the first thing we got to do is grind that down and figure out where all the pinholes are. So let me get my jacket, the welding jacket on. Let me get the face shield on, hearing protection. You guys know the drill. Let's get this thing finished, and then we'll patch the top part of the frame rail flange. All right. This is gonna suck, man. I'm already sweating my butt off, but What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm about to bring the fan over here, you know. If it starts buffeting the mic, you guys tell me, but all right. We got hearing protection because that grinding wheel is super loud. Also, that goes for you guys. You probably want to turn down the volume. That thing gets really loud. And we got our face shield. The face shield has a sweatband on it, so that should be good for me. Aren't you supposed to be doing this at night? It's not nearly as warm today, dude, as it was yesterday. So I figure let's get on it, man. Get on it. Get on it. Down, down, bow, 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 bow. Just can't keep the fan away from the weld spot. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll angle the fan up so it's not blowing on where I weld. Good call, because you don't want it to blow away the gases, right? Here, let me start moving these. I gotta move some stuff around, dudes. I mean, like I said, that's not going anywhere, but yeah, we gotta make this not look like poop. I mean, for any other reason than the frame rail flange needs to go right there, and this needs to be nice and flat. All right. Time to get the grinder out. Good. Our first grind of the day. Sit back, relax, get comfortable. Headphone users, this is going to get a little loud. So just bear with me here, okay? I might need to switch off the flap disc. I might need the grinding wheel straight up. This is, yeah, not great, Bob. Not great, Bob. Yeah, I found another pinhole right there. Lower grit, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to get the grinding wheel, just the straight grinding wheel. I caked on a lot of weld there to make up for the fact that I can't seam weld correctly. So I just built up a ton of material there, so when we grind it down, when we grind it all down, it'll look right. Hang on. Grinding wheel coming at you. So instead of the flap disc, I got a straight grinding wheel here. This should get material off a lot faster. Now we got to be careful not to grind out the dang plate that we just welded in there, right? Like, we want to be careful we don't do that. Once I start getting these welds relatively flat, we'll switch back to the flap disc. See, we started getting marks on the plate there, so I don't want to. It's very easy to grind through the plate that we just welded in. I don't want to do that. Alright, that's not bad. Just keep the fan away from the weld spot, right? Okay, cool. I'm just checking chat real quick. There we go. Alright, cool. Excellent. You know, there's not a lot of pinholes in this. I actually plugged this up pretty good. Yeah, I pretty much covered it. That's because Geek was telling me to spread the weld out a little bit more. But you see the spatter around there? I don't know if you guys can see. There's like some sparkliness around the welds. I didn't have the welder really kind of dialed in. But we'll grind it. We'll fill in where we need to, and we'll go from there. Yeah, this is really boogery up there. I don't know if how well you guys can see that. Do you need to wear ear protection when watching this? I mean, yeah, yeah. This is, I gotta get up here a little bit more, but like down and around, that's pretty dang, yeah. I mean,
This is flat disc territory. There is some areas right here, there's some low spots that I need to fill in because I kind of ground that down on purpose because of how we put this plate in here. So like this edge of the rail kind of tapers inward a little bit, and that's why I filled up the weld. So I do need to build up a little bit more material there, and we got a pinhole right there. But other than that, yeah, this is actually pretty good. It actually, despite my just frankly awful welds, I mean, it looks like we got the welder kind of dialed in 2 weeks ago. It was good. This is more control. Like if you look at my welds, they kind of go this way, and then they kind of go that way, and then they kind of go that way. I did cover the thing. We did cover it. It's just, ideally you want to do this kind of in one shot and go all the way down. But my inexperience as a welder is showing here. But, you know, Chad helped me out and got it dialed in. I mean, that's not going anywhere. It's just not really much to look at. That's up there. That's good for the flat disc. And then we just got to grind off a little bit more over here. Got to get all this and all that. And then we should be good to get the welder back out. We got enough material off to switch over to the flap disc. I should probably get under here. There's the weld that I did up over here. Let's switch over to the flap disc. Cool. It looks pretty good, man. It's not bad. Like I said, there's a couple of low points where we got to build up with the welder again. I'm not really worried about up here. If we blow through that ain't no problem. It's got to be replaced anyway. Yeah. I'm going to get the flap disc, see if we can smooth this all out. So like the grinding wheel is there for moving for getting a lot of material off. It's like your coarse adjustment to material, just subtractive manufacturing here. And the flap disc that I'm getting now is fine adjustment. So putting the flap disc in the wheel here. Okay. I put so you guys are wondering why that camera is green, why it looks like you're in the Matrix. Yeah, I have a welding shield in front of it and a splash guard. That's there so you can see, when I do weld, you can see it. Now what I'm going to try to do with the flop wheel is just blend this. I don't think this wheel's got any action left on it. Let me get another one. Yeah, that thing has seen better days. Okay, I have another flap wheel. Let's get on it. Much better. Not bad. Pray for Mary, 34-month resub. It's Al the Fax with a 43-month resub. Thanks, dudes. You just put in a new cabin filter. All right. Nice. Okay, nice. See how it's really blended up there? There's a low spot right there, but I don't, or there's a high spot. Let me see if I can just iron that out real quick. I want this to be as smooth as possible. Now, like I said, this doesn't look nearly as nice over here because the way I put this panel in, we got to build up. I got to send more weld over there. But yeah, definitely coming along. All right, so what I'm going to do here now is switch to an even finer adjustment. I'm going to get the palm sander out with 120 grit, and I'm just going to go back and forth, and we can really, I just want to make sure this is as flat as possible, so when we put the leaf spring perch up against this, right, it'll mate to it correctly. So I'm using this as like an ultra fine adjustment. Didn't take long. That's nice and flat. Like, very, very good. Very, very flat. Yeah, there's not a lot of... Those aren't even pinholes. Those are just spots. Those are just places where I missed with the weld. That's good though, man. Very good. Pretty happy with that. We gotta fix up here. Yeah. The plug welds that I did back there, you can't even tell that they're there anymore, which is pretty sweet. Cool. Couple of pinholes up in here. I don't know how well you guys can see them. There's a couple of spots here and there that we got to fill in. You know, we'll fill in the welds all up in here, grind it over, and make it smooth again so it looks like this. Down here is pretty damn good. That's pretty mint, dudes. Don't take too much away and thin the frame rail. Dean, I'll be honest with you, I am like super paranoid about doing that because we did it on the other side and I didn't even notice. So that's why I'm like, you could probably go more with the flap disc. No, get the sander out. You know, like I've been very paranoid about grinding too much of that off. So yeah, what I've been learning that you got to do is kind of look at it, hit it, look at it, hit it, look at it, kind of go back and forth. Oh man. I need water. We gotta hydrate. Mandatory hydration. Keep sweating and you won't have to pee. Yeah. Man, you look so cool and comfortable. Yeah. I'll get a heat pump in here one of these days, dude. Man, seeing that 70, the 70 Coronet that I saw, it was a 70 Coronet RT, a 70 Coronet RT that was same color. I wish I got a picture of it. It was a 70 that was B3 blue. I checked the tags. The guy didn't know. He's like, yeah, I just drive it. I'm like, lost the mic. You think, all right, that should be better. A drop of sweat hit the microphone. So maybe I'll put like the microphone over here or something where I won't sweat as much. 4x5 should be better. Sis, you think I moved the grinder too far using it like a sander, but I think you should let it work more and only move it. I'm worried about introducing too much heat, dude. Yeah, I know we're still a little muffled. I can't get all the liquid out of there. Maybe I'll switch to the other mic. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Should be like crystal clear now. 5x5? Good, good, good. So, Sis, I'm like, you're saying I move the grinder around too much. I'm worried about introducing too much heat. We're only working with like 16 gauge steel. But then again, I'm no metal fabricator either. Why are you worried about heat? I'm worried about it warping. Is that not a thing? Like, dude, I'm an amateur, and if you have actually done metal fabrication, any tips, anything. Like, I don't want to take tips though from somebody that's like Googled it. You know what I mean? If somebody works in metal fab or is a welder, that like and has like the experience, that's who I want like teaching me. Anybody can Google how to weld, you know. You introduce more heat when welding. Clayton, I'm not interested in HVAC solutions right now. I'll figure it out, dude. Thank you, though. You introduce more heat when welding. So just, Sis, you're saying just let the grinder do the work? Just kind of hold it where I need it? Grinding heat is localized and minimal. The heat of the grinding disc shouldn't be as bad. Okay. Should be fine as long as you're on the weld. Okay. Okay. Cool, cool. All right, let me flip back over. Should be good as long as I'm on the weld. All right, cool. Thanks for the tip, man. Yeah. I'll take that into account when we fill in this, cause yeah, I got a couple of pinholes here, but what I'm really after is getting this surface completely smooth, because when we go to, hold on. When we go to put this in, this needs to fit perfectly. Well, that's better than it was. It's still not like totally exact, but it's close. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. Not bad. Fitment is okay. It needs to be dialed in more. You got to be patient with trying to fit a new spring perch. I still got to grind down the old spot welds on the bottom there. I can flap disc those off though.
The Eagle has landed.
Whoa! What's
to kill
that?
a French vampire, you need to drive a baguette through its heart. Sounds easy, but the process is painstaking.
All right, I'll be over here. You guys, I'm gonna cool off for a second. You guys just enjoy yourselves. I'm back in the office. Hi, Geeson. How you doing?
Oh, this is space. I'm in space.
Hey, Pete, gifted 5 subs. Thanks, man. Is it bad that I genuinely laughed at that? Maybe a little. Pete gifted 5. Thanks, buddy. All right. Time to get the welder out. And you guys can watch me abhorrently weld this. But yeah, like I said, if you actually have some welding experience and you see me doing something a little weird, just let me know. I'm looking to learn. I am not an expert at this. Any pointers would be helpful. Everybody says, you know, you want to get better at welding, just practice. So here we go. This is the practice. So I got my grounding strap up. put that down. All right, so we got to fill in this area because it's a low spot. I got to fill that in and kind of go from there. Let me, all right, so we are welding 16 gauge steel here. We're kind of welding on top of 16 gauge steel. So I'm going to go consult the welding table here because I'm still pretty bad at this. So 16 gauge. 16 gauge with 75/25 is with 35 thousandth wire. It's looking for D, voltage D, and speed, wire speed feed 4. So I set the welder to voltage D and speed 4. The welder is a Lincoln 180i MP. The voltage on this thing goes from A to J, and the feed goes from 1 to 10. So, yeah, let me flip this sucker on. Let me verify gas flow. We have gas flow. How much gas do we have left? 1,500 psi. All right, I am using a 75/25 argon CO2 mixture. Let me get my welding gloves out. What do you guys think? Are those settings okay? Okay, give that a try. If you ain't making mistakes, you're not working. You're not. If you ain't making mistakes, you're not learning. That's right, dude. Oh, I got to take the ring off. We back on the rails in the heat? That's right, man. I got to take my wedding ring off. I don't need. It's very unlikely that it'll arc to this ring, but if it does, it's going to basically plasma cut my finger off. I'm pretty sure we don't need that. So it's going in the SE to aux box in the office. Yeah, no, I don't want that. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to see that. I mean, maybe some of you do. Couchy, what's going on, buddy? You know how you get to Carnegie Hall, don't you? You practice. That's right, man. Could you use that argon for making an ion engine? Yeah. I mean, Aitor, what a welder does and what an ion engine does is not that far off. The welder makes an arc through metal metal wire, and the gas shields it and prevents contamination, and there is some Hall effect reaction there. Ionizing the argon and CO2 is going to make some thrust, but the thing is that it's going to be a negligible amount. Like electric propulsion, like a Hall effect thruster, doesn't make a lot of thrust. It's basically like about that much, if any. Audio is out of sync. All right, give me 1 sec. Test. Couchy, it's a Mrs. birthday, but I had to check on the cornet. There you go. All right. Turn down the gain a little bit. That should be a little better, yeah? Scott Manley described these thrusters as having the thrust of a mouse fart. Yeah, they don't make a lot of thrust, but they do make thrust, and it's very efficient, the thrust that they do make. Problem is that you don't really, can't really use those for like main propulsion. It's much better in the application of like RCS. Like Starlink satellites have electric propulsion because they only need a little bit of thrust to stay in that 500 kilometer orbit. Anyway. Let's roll. All right, so because the welding mask is on the camera, you guys should be able to see you guys should be able to see what I'm doing. Hold on, the welder came unplugged. Should probably plug it in, huh? Okay. Okay, welder is on. What? You went over my helmet? So the fan is right here, and I'll put it right here so you guys can see it, and it's blowing up and away from the weld. Actually, I'll put it towards the computer. I'm welding right here, so you don't want that to blow away the gas, because when you weld this thing, it shoots out argon and CO2, and that shields the weld and prevents it from, the argon and the CO2 prevent the weld from reacting with atmosphere, because in our atmosphere there are gases that are reactionary, like oxygen. We know good and well from the Ship 36 explosion that we saw the other day that oxygen reacts with things and makes them explode. It oxidizes things, and that makes things really easily flammable. But that's not really what's going to happen here. In the case of the weld, you don't want the electrical arc to ionize the oxygen, because then it'll trap iron oxide in the weld, like inside the weld. So you don't want the weld to be contaminated. So the welding gun shoots gas out as you weld to protect it. If the fan is blowing that gas away, I'm wasting gas. So like in the application of SpaceX, dude, that's why they put up the windbreak, because they tried welding stuff outside in a parking lot or in a dirt field at Boca Chica, like back in the day with like Mark 1, they tried TIG welding it, and the wind coming off the beach was blowing away the gas and contaminating the welds, and that's why Mark 1 basically popped, and Mark 2, and Mark 3, and Mark 4. Yeah, then they figured out maybe we should do this inside, so they made the windbreak. All right, let's get to it, shall we? So with the welding shield on, you guys should be able to, you should be able to see the bead that I'm running and tell me if I'm being an idiot or not. Most likely the answer is going to be yes, but you know, let's roll. All right, where do we need to patch up? So I'll start with a tack weld. There's a little pinhole right there that I have to, that I'm gonna just weld up. We'll go from there. Let me verify that this thing is flowing gas. You'll hear it, it'll go. Okay, definitely flowing gas. All right, cool. So, let me get the bucket in place. Good, our first weld of the day. All right, we blew through on our first weld. Excellent. But hey, that's okay. That pinhole is needed to be patched anyway. I will say this, dudes. I'd probably, if I was going to do this again, I would probably just replace these frame rails. I wouldn't even try to patch them. Patching them is not fun. Ready? That's not great. Voltage C. Yeah, we'll crank it down, dudes. I'll crank it down. I think the wire speed is a little high as well. No? I'm going to turn it down to wire speed 3. Audio. What about the audio? Remember, top to bottom with a perpendicular and 20-degree drag angle. Oh, yeah. The mic moved. Of course it did. Sorry, I blew into the mic. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, it has some sweat.
I keep dripping sweat into the damn thing. So I'm gonna put it on like the lapel of the jacket. And hopefully, hold on. Turn your volume down. Actually, you know what? I'll just mute the mic real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, can you, you know, that's tilted the wrong way. Hold on. Can you guys hear me okay now? Is this all right? The mic is kind of facing away from me because I don't want it to, I don't want it to get sweat on it. Stop sweating. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hold on. There. That should do it. That should be nice. Compressor, blow it out. Yeah. The compressor doesn't have, it's not charged up. No, still muffled. There's not much I can do about it, homie. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we'll try to figure this out because people are gonna tell me about it until I fix it. Be right back. All right. Oh, that's even worse, dude. That's even worse, isn't it? Jeez. Hold on 1 sec. That one, how's this one? This one should be okay. I switched it back to the other microphone. All right, cool. Much better. 5x5. Excellent. Good. Get back to work. I'm trying, man. You guys are the ones that are stalling me right now. Damn. Clip it to the welding helmet. It's on the lapel of my jacket, dude. But it's kind of pointed in a way that's not going to, we're not going to drip on it. All right. Let's get back to work. All right, so we turned down our, we turned down the voltage and the feed speed a little bit. All right, let's do this. 20 degrees, top to bottom. All right. Hey, all right. That ain't bad. Let me get the wire brush. All right, well, we got that pinhole. Yeah, turning down the voltage definitely helped. Excellent. All right, cool. Now I'll start up here and I'll work my way down. Top to bottom, 20 degrees, go back and forth slowly. Got to start close and pool is established, starting to move down now. We put a lot of heat into that thing. She glowing. How's that? Not bad. She's smoking, and we definitely penned through on the other side. I definitely can see some work happening over there. That looks pretty good. Thanks, man. All right, let's see this little guy down here. Let's see if we fill that little guy up. So
Let me put the wire brush down. All right. Right here, I'm gonna start here, 20 degrees off. Go back and forth. We gotta wait for the pool to go. And yeah, let's do this. All right, I got a pool. Moving down. Shit. Oh, excuse my language. I screwed up. I put way too much heat into it. I didn't move fast enough. The pool blew through. Crap. That's not great. I screwed up badly right there. Yeah, I blew it out. We started okay, and then I moved around too quick. I didn't move around fast enough, excuse me. Shoot. Yeah, all right, we're gonna have to do some, I'm gonna have to just build up the material top to bottom. See, that's what I mean. I'm still pretty damn amateur at this. It started good. I started real good. We had, you know, you could see the heat, like, and then I think I may have hit like a pit. There must be pitting on the inside of the frame rail there, because I saw it. The pool just kind of fell backwards. And I would use the brass hammer. I saw you guys recommend putting the brass hammer behind it, but it doesn't fit back there. Trying to get the pool. Yeah, see, there it is. Oh, I didn't get it. I thought I popped it out there. It's just a weird spot to get at. Hold on, let me get some needle nose. I'll get it out there. The pool fell through, and it's in the middle of the frame rail here. Pool looks good. Problem is it's not attached. That's also really freaking hot. I can feel it through the glove, but okay, well, we gotta start over. Yeah, Dean, they're adjustable, dude. The welding mask is adjustable. We can mess with it. I'm just not sure which way. Let's try that. I gave it a little bit of a turn on the adjustment. Okay. All right, well, I got to spot weld this thing and build it up. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's all right. Okay, 20 degrees off. Okay. Same thing again. Let me hit it with the brush. Yeah. Yeah, I think we found a crap spot in the frame rail. This is why it doesn't really make sense to patch these stupid things. But we've already patched most of the damn thing, so might as well. So now what I got to do is just build up material slowly. And we just got to replace the metal that we blew out. This is where this gets to be really bad. And this, once again, this is what represents somebody that has a lot of skill with this, and me. But I want to learn. I'm willing to learn. I want to do this. I want to learn to do this right, because someday when I get a car that, you know, that's worth something, I want to work on it. I want to make it nice. Okay. I just got caught up on the damn quarter panel. Perpendicular to the welding joint, 20 degrees angled down. So you want like this, down like that. All right, I think I can do that. Okay, I got it, can't see me. I got you, man, I got you. All right, again. Oh, wire brush it. Yeah, we're slowly closing it up. The reason why I'm going at it with the brush every time is to get away any burn marks and stuff. Any contamination here on the weld, if we go to weld over it, is just going to get stuck in there and it'll rust it from the inside out. We don't want that. All right, almost got it filled. 20 degrees down. Good. Good. Adjust the camera the other way. I don't know which way I adjusted it, but I'll try that way. Okay. I turned it. Let's see if that was better or worse. You guys tell me. Better or worse? Okay, can't see me. It's good? All right. Okay, just got a little spot there. It's good. Tech, we good, man? There's just a little hole left. Why? Why did my hand decide to throw the wire brush forward like that? I don't know. Cam is still too bright. All right. Okay. I turn you guys back the other way. On the adjuster. I don't have the adjustment knob and I don't have the reference for it because it's on the helmet that we took the damn thing off of. So, I don't know. We'll just have to dial it in, man. Nice. Not bad. Okay. There's let me I'm gonna take the helmet off for a second. I'm gonna look at this straight on here. Okay, we gotta fill in. I gotta put a a seam right here. Let me just wire brush this off. Guys, I'm getting a little bit of spatter. What does the spatter mean? Is that too low voltage? There's a little bit of spatter around these welds. Too much gas, Dave? Okay. Not an expert, got it. Your conclusions were all wrong. Halsey acted stupidly. All right. I gotta start right here and then I gotta work my way down. All right, 20 degrees off. All right, let's go. Pool is established. What was wrong with that? I think I moved a little bit fast, but are you making circles? What I'm doing, dude, is kind of back and forth and back and forth. I'm kind of doing over like a C that's kind of facing this way. Should the C's go that way? Did it burn through? No, no, no. Weave pattern's fine, a little wide, but okay. All right, killer. I gotta do a couple of spots up in there. Let me just get at it. Just a small guy right there. That was just to fill up a low point. Because right now I'm basically additively manufacturing part of the damn frame rail, which is really not what you're supposed to do, but it's fine. I got to do another one just above it. That one started to make some funky noises, dude. Rusty spot. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Okay. Blew through. Yep, that's what I was worried about, but that's okay. Yeah, that's spot. That's not the patch panel. That's the original frame rail up there. All right, I gotta rebuild. We gotta. Even if you're feeling some little thing, you should melt the metal around it. or else it's not really bonding. If you feel the pool going, you feel pushback in your hands, you're feeding too fast. If it's too slow, the feed, you'll get spatter that way too. Okay, cool, good to know, man, thank you. I'm just gonna get a couple more pinholes up here, right there. Yes, dear. Nice, Dean. Yeah, I do that with Bremo. I answer Bremo in movie quotes sometimes. Cleaning off the head of the nozzle here. All right, there's a couple of pinholes up there, but that's in the kind of the part that we do need to replace, but it's all right. We'll get at it. What I really got to do is fix up here. So I'll try to do that now. Not great. Not great. Guys, I'm gonna have to get that from the top. I'm gonna have to stand up. Can't get it from this angle. That didn't end well. We blew right through. Let me get the brush. Get at this from this side. Trying to bridge the hole that's too big of a hole. Yeah, I know. I know. It's because the frame rail is dookie, but it's all right. There we go. I got the material to build up right there. Let me brush it and let it cool for a second. I mean, once again, guys, this ain't gonna look pretty, but it's there, it'll hold. It's kind of what I'm after. Moving my grounding strap because it was in the way. Got it. I built up the material upwards that way, and that seemed to make it fill, which is great. That's good. Just a little bit more. All right, we filled it in. Man, yeah, this is I see why people get paid for this, man. This is not easy. It's not easy work by any means. It's quite hard to get this really, really right. It takes a lot of practice, but that's what we're here for. Yeah, I'm patching these pinholes from the back now. It's working. Just got to get a couple on the top here. Do not forget, you were doing one of the hardest welding positions on the hardest material, vertical 16 gauge rusty. Doing quite well. Half is setup, half is technique. One of these days you're going to practice so well you could possibly do it in your sleep. Well, that's why we're doing this, man. No good. That was bad. I found a lot of thin frame rail flange right there. Got it. Nice. There was a little pinhole down here that I plugged it from the back. Cool. All right, there's just a little bit of schmutz up on the top here, dudes. Hey, RC Horseman, what's up? 100 Canadian for more welding wire. Dude, that's an awesome super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank ya. Thank ya very much. Need some fire here, man. Need some heat here, man. Need some heat. Dude, I'm cutting all this out. The frame rail is so damn thin there. We got to cut here. We got to cut here. There is a patch there that's nice and solid that I did previously, but the more I try to patch that, the more we just blow through. It's really thin metal. Anyway, RC, thanks, man. Appreciate you, buddy. That 16 will be 12 in no time. Thanks, man. You know what? You know what we could do?
we have room to put the brass hammer. Boop, boop. Could put the brass hammer right here. And that'll give us a backing if we go at this from the bottom. Yeah. All right. That funky hammer. God, I love that. That actually worked. Hell yeah. That built up enough material on the top here for me to get at it. I love that thing. Oh boy. Yep. We blew right through it again. Not good, man. Not good. This part of the frame rail is really thin. More brass hammer. Brass hammer, whammer, a funky hammer. Oh, I gotta clean it. Well, I replaced the thin part with weld because of the hammer, the backing hammer. I should be able to fill up the rest of the pinholes that way instead of replacing this. I gotta clean it. There was a really thin spot right here. I just basically blew it out and replaced it with bead. All right, now I got some material here to build up against. All right, that needs to cool. Almost got it all patched. Just a little bit more right there and then we're good. Shorter welds. Solid tack until it melts in the previous. Stop. Wait until it's not red. Repeat. Got it. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying to go slow. I'm trying to go a lot slower than I did before. There's just a little hole left over there. It would have been probably better to just patch this, but that's what I'll do up here. This is pretty bad. We should probably just start making
No. I think we should cut this. The pool's just falling through. See it fall? It fell through because of that damn gravity thing. Put your backing bar under there? Okay. Well, I can't because that stupid pool is in the way now, dude. I should have done it before, not so fun. All right, we'll see if that works. Did that do it? Oh, it was just a little pinhole there. I mean, we're gonna have to grind that off because the plate needs to be right here, so. Man, I wish I was better at this, dude. But the only way to get better is to just do it. One more patch, and I think I got that pretty good. I'm still gonna cut out over here. Hey, Flagon. Quick tacks, yep. I'm gonna cut this strip here. This we pretty much repaired, and that's already patched. What I should have done is really check to see if there was weld. I should have replaced this whole damn thing. The whole strip. I still might do that, just because. Yeah, there's good frame rail over here. It's just thinned right here. It's thin from about here to here. So this is a frame rail extension that I did. Yeah. Are there any holes over here? No. That's all solid. I'm still going to have to grind it down, and there's a couple of pinholes that I'll just zap real quick. Shorter tacks, right? Shorter tacks. So just there. There's another one right here. Yeah, this is why people just replace this, because chasing these stupid pinholes all day sucks, and I hate it. It's not fun at all, and it's very time consuming. But I think I got most of it, so let's move on. Let's move on to cutting this thing out. Yeah, not so fun. I remember when, you know, like we had that conversation when you first popped in, dude. You know, just make a new part, fabricate a new part, or buy the patch or whatever. You know, I would have probably just replaced these. I'm confident enough in my ability now that we could have probably replaced them. It probably would have been easier than doing all this freaking fab work, but. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, dudes, is it's not the ride, it's the destination. Yeah. Now we know, did the new perch come in? Yeah, it's right here. I still got to prep it like we did the other one. I got to grind down some stuff where we're going to spot weld to it, replace it with steel it. And then we got to punch new holes in this thing, but I have a tool for that now. I have a tool for that, metal hole puncher. This thing's pretty sweet. Just I don't know if that's going to be long enough. I might still have to drill this. 1/4 or 3/8. This is a 1/4 inch. I had to look at the box. I'm not sure it's going to get at that flange exactly where we want. I need to drill the holes in the center. But yeah, it's all right. But yeah, I have it. We just gotta, I did the seal up for it, we oiled it, and yeah. Hey American, what's going on, man? All right, let me get the cutting wheel. Let me get my cutting wheel out and we will zap that bit of bad metal out from here and here. And then yeah, I'll just make a new one. Yeah, that metal's toast anyway. Okay. So we got to get the flap disc off. Car could use some TLC. What do you think we're doing? We've actually started, after about a month of working on this thing, we actually started adding metal. Is that something? Okay, so I got my cutoff wheel here. I'll put on the welding camera. It's probably going to be easier to see it. So this bad bit right here, from about here to here, this area, we're going to cut that out and I'll replace it. Yeah. Let me get my face shield on. Hearing protection, headphone users, this gets loud. So just be advised. I'll tell you, I zapped through that pretty easily. That metal was quite thin. Yeah, that was, see, like right here, that was thin, very thin. So what we got to do is we got to replace this, the strip that we just ground out, we got to replace it. It's got a slight bend to it, but we can introduce that bend. Yeah, shouldn't be too hard. Let me just get the, I'm going to switch to the Vivitar camera. Save it in the rusty parts pile. Yeah. Yeah. I got to drink more water, guys. Freaking American with the boots. The waterfall is the opposite of a firefly. Keep on keeping on. A world of knowledge. How would it be? I don't understand that reference. It's very rare that I don't understand one. Almost there. Yeah, just taking a mandatory hydration break here. Okay, let's measure. Where did I put the scrap piece? Okay, here it is. Let's measure how long this thing needs to be. Just about 3 inches. Actually, it's 3 inches pretty much on the dot. Okay. We got to keep in mind that there's a slight bend to it. If you look, like here it is versus straight. See? This is a straight edge. There is a slight bend. It bends right where that hole is because the frame rail starts to tilt down right there. But I think, I mean, one of you guys already said it. I think that might be the right way to do this. Just tack and move it and tack and move it and tack and move it. Tack and hammer, tack and hammer, tack, hammer, etc., etc. If reference is needed, I think your stream is awesome. Thank you for sharing great knowledge with you. My pleasure. 2 seconds maximum on the tacks. Okay. All right. I got to get the face shield on here. And I'm just going to make a patch piece with my good metal here. Where are my clamps? I got a pencil and a ruler. I'm just going to mark how much we need. Okay, now I'm going to get at that. I'm going to cut that piece out with the cutting wheel. How I'm going to do it is I'm going to scribe a line and then we'll cut. That's how you get a really straight cut here. So let's unplug the wheel because this cable's stuck. Make sure you do that first. All right, face shield down. I'm just going to cut the patch piece out, guys, and then we'll go. All right, this thing's got a little bit of a burr on it. I'm going to take it over to my bench grinder, just get the burrs off the ends. Cuts were pretty damn straight. I like scribing a line in first. That makes this a lot easier. So this little bench grinder right here, just going to give this a quick zap. You know, touching it was probably not the smartest thing to do, but I did it anyway, you know? Got to do these things sometimes. Okay, we're good. There we go. There's our patch piece. Before and after. Okay. Okay. Chuck Hamlin says hello. Just popping in. Hope you're staying hydrated. Actually, that's a good time to do it. While that piece cools off. It is hot in here. But like with this way, like this compared to the computer, at least you're moving around, you know? Put some ice behind the fan. I don't think that's gonna make a difference, Aitor. I mean, it will, but I mean, it's gonna melt real fast, man. And I don't have any ice up here. I just have a fridge. I mean, we're feeling it. It's definitely warm in here. Spray the shop with water from the outside. I don't have a water line up here, dude. Maybe in the future. So I figured tack this from the back, right? And then slowly, actually the bend is basically right where the seam is. That's a colossal screw up on my part, but what are you gonna do? So it basically starts to bend right here. I should have checked that. Yeah, we just need to bend the end tab a little bit. I should be able to get my adjustable wrench and just bend that down once this thing is all tacked in place. So, you know, not too worried. We got about a 1/16 of an inch, and it kind of grows to like 3/32 towards the front, but that's okay. And maybe an 1/8 of an inch in the corner right there. But that'll be all right. Okay, I'll start with a tack in the center. I'll get you guys a little better view here. Hold on. Why isn't the zoom working on this? Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to start right here. We'll tack there, tack there, tack there, take the magnet off, do the tacks at the back over here, and then try to, I got to move this forward a little bit. We got to try to bridge that gap as best as we could, best as we can. I'm worried about the front, but it's a small part, pre-bend it. Yeah, see the front over there? You see this front piece? Look at how out of line it is. I think I'm just gonna put this in the vise real quick and just give it a little bend. Just a small one, like it's not gonna be a lot. I know the camera's still back there, just give me one sec. There we go. I just gave it a little teensy-weensy bend. See it now? See the bend piece right there? Now let's do this. Oh yeah, there we go. Perfect. Trying to get that centered as best as we can, and I bent it pretty much in the right spot. Clean the cut on the car. Oh yeah, oh, dude, thank you. Oh geez, that would have sucked. Yeah, let me get my file. I gotta deburr a lot of this. Sounds like a raptor honk up in here, dude. You hear that? Honk! Yonk! Yonk! No, not gooses, Vin. Jeez. No, I like one magnet on the top. What I'm doing is I'm making sure it's aligned to the factory bend over here. Yeah, in that regard, I may have went a little overboard on this side, but that's okay. I can bridge that. It's about 1/8 of an inch. If I slowly tack it and build up the material, we should be fine. Okay, guys. Any objections? Speak now or forever be burned into the car. Objection. Overruled. Careful not to overheat the magnets. How do they work? Will do, man. Thank you. Ground the area beneath the new metal before putting in. Counselors, approach the bench. I think the side with the magnet on top is a little too far in. All right, let's... Okay, Shy, I see it. I see it. How's that, bro? Better? Oh, hi, Carman. Oh, hi, Mason. What's new with you? I got a wedgie, not gonna lie. How's that, dudes? It's 120 yum food, yeah. Perfect, it's easier to grind off extra. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, gloves are going on. You're tearing us apart. I'm not tearing things apart. I'm cutting things apart and then welding them back together. You're welding us together, Lisa. Okay. Tack, wait, tack, wait, tack, wait. I'm going to pop this right in the center. Let me just really make sure that we're aligned. Yep, okay. Ready? Guess who blew through? This guy. Oh boy, great start. I'll try back towards the magnet. Got it. Okay, we don't need the back magnet anymore. Okay, let me try this again. Got it. Yes. Okay, we don't need any of the magnets. She is burned. Excellent. All right, I'm going to do one on the outside here. I pulled the thing back too early, guys. That's why I left a little bit of a nipple on the top there. That was my fault. Other than that, though, that tack was pretty good. I'm waiting a second, then I'll try to zap it right between those tacks right there. Or maybe 1 to 2 inches. Let's go up here somewhere. Got it. Nice. I gotta wait a sec, dudes. Up here, that's way too much. It's way too wide. I'll try to build weld in the corner there, see if we can get a tack going. Nope. We blew through. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna need the hammer to bridge the gap. Brass hammer, boop, boop. That funky whammer. Brass hammer. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on the welding table. Let me just check how I want to do this. Probably go left hand. Left hand with the hammer, right hand with the tack. Right there. Ready? 1, 2. Got it. Damn, I love this thing. This thing is awesome. That makes it so much easier. I mean, this is like, the hammer is like having training wheels for welding. All right, I'm gonna do one at the back over here. We'll try to split those welds right there. Ready? Got it. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna try to get at up here, the spot that we kind of blew through. There's a pool over there. I'm gonna wait on doing that. Never mind. There's a pool that fell down below it, and I can't get the hammer into the corner. Well, I must go do domestic stuff. All right, RC. See you, buddy. In the meantime, we'll work on the back here. Good. All right, I'm gonna bridge one up here. Good. So the reason why I'm not seaming this thing, why I'm not doing a big seam weld in here, is because this is a very small piece. You don't want to introduce a lot of heat into this. If you introduce a lot of heat, it's starting to warp, and it'll screw up the nice bend that we put in it to make it look nice in the first place. I'm going to try to get the corner right there. Tack weld, corner pocket. Got it. Try to get out on the end. Oh, I got it. That was not a good weld. I didn't like that. It didn't feel right. That was just a weird angle. I'm gonna move from the back. We'll try to get as close to the forward part as possible. Didn't like it. It blew through. That metal's real thin up there. You gotta be careful. Okay, I'll try to seal up over here. Good. Bridged those two spots, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna move towards the back now. Oh, I pulled the trigger too quick. My finger slipped when I was trying to readjust to get the right spot. That was totally my bad. Let's try this again. Good. Okay. I'm gonna move back forward a little bit. What I'm doing is just kind of moving around, dudes. Actually, we'll go towards the back. I'm moving this piece around because I don't want to introduce too much heat and warp it. Okay. All right, move back towards the front. It sounded like it had good pen. Yeah, these welds feel right. The only ones that I didn't really like are that one and the one where I was trying to adjust and I pulled the trigger by accident. Good. See that it should sound like sizzling bacon. That's what everybody tells me. And it should be consistent. You shouldn't hear like pep, 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 pep. It should be like, it should be a consistent noise. Like that. You hear how consistent that was? That was good. Got it. Okay, this spot I gotta fill in. There's a little bit of a hole there, so I gotta just we gotta fill it with 2 spots here. So one, right there. Wait a second. Clean the damn thing up. And then there's another little spot right in front of it. Cool. Good. Yeah, Stuart, something like that. What is making the dimples in the welds? Holding the gun in? Yeah. That's what you want, though. That's you want it to make that dimple. It should kind of look like an eyeball. Work your way forward to the corner. That's what I'm going to do, Article. I'm going to have to get underneath the car. Okay. We are once again in the trunk of this vehicle. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to work my way forward to try and build up that gap that I left. I'm going to try to get over here now. Got it. Just gotta wait a second. I want to put too much heat into it. Good. We're closing the gap, dudes. Still a lot of heat on there. I'm going to stop for a sec. Oh, jeez, sorry. Sorry for sneezing. Oh, no turbo that time. Bless you. Thank you. Cosmo Quest, thanks for the raid again. It's a little bit different than what you guys, the Cosmo Quest raiders, would have saw yesterday. But, you know, yeah, a little bit different than KSB. We're doing some industrial cutting and welding here. I'm trying to weld this patch metal in, and then we got a little bit of a hole there that we gotta patch up. Nice. But I gotta go slow because I don't want to put too much heat in. We flex too much heat into this thing, it's gonna blow through or warp. But I seem to be good thus far. Anyway, what's going on, Cosmo Quest Raiders? How you doing? I am working on my 1969 Dodge Coronet. Dodge Coronet. You have to say it that way. You're almost like obliged to. Dodge. All right. 4 or 5 more spots here. We should be good. We'll talk to Dodge. Almost there. That was a little long on my part. We'll talk to Dad. We'll talk to Bab. We're on a mission from Dodge. It's got a cop motor, 440 cubic inch plant. It's got cop tires, cop suspension, cop shocks. It's a model made before catalytic converter, so it'll run good on regular gas. What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile? Fix the cigarette lighter. For what it's worth, my cigarette lighter works in mine. But then again, this isn't a Dodge Monaco either. It's a Coronet. Monaco is similar, but not the same car. Almost got this. Nice. 2 or 3 more spots, we are going to be in business here. Like I said, I don't want to do this too quickly because then we introduce too much heat. Got to stop for a sec. It's too hot. I touched the glove to it and it burned it. Yeah, there's a blob underneath. I can't get the hammer up in there, which is why I'm doing it this way. A wet rag? Yeah, I don't have that. I could just drop some sweat on it We could show up as and EJ shows up and rubs it and then spits on it. All right, we gotta get up there. I think that's enough time. Ready? Bridge that gap. That was huge. Hell yeah, man. Okay, she's cool. That sweat might just be as hot as the weld. Yeah, that's a good point. We bridged it, didn't blow through, dude. Now I just got to go down the side there. I don't know how well you guys can see over here. Got it. Dude, I'm doing a lot better today than I was when we tried to do this before. I mean, my welds still look like absolute butthole, but you know what? It ain't bad. This ain't bad at all. It's pretty bad, but it ain't too bad, you know. Now she caught the Katie stuck in my head. She caught the Katie and left me a mule to ride. All right, a little bit of a hole there. It's just the last one we got to get at. Ready? I tried to fill the whole thing. I only got a little bit of it. We're gonna have to grind out the bottom of that. That's got to be nice and smooth so the perch can mount to it. Okay. Ready? A little bit more. Well, that's not good. I went right through. That doesn't mean we blew through. I just didn't have the thing aimed right. Let's try a different angle. Let's try over here. Nice. Yeah, sitting here and waiting between the welds is definitely a game changer. You're much less likely to blow through. Just cleaning out the head of the nozzle. Okay, just a little bit more. Okay, that's it, man. She's all sealed up. That thing's burned in. There's a little bit of a seam on the bottom here from one of my patch panel. We didn't get good pen right there. Just on a quick side note, I'm going to clean that up and while we're in here. There we go. There's just a little bit that I missed. That's all. Maybe we could build up a little bit on the end there, but I'd have to get at that from another angle. So let me get out from underneath the car. How's it look, dudes? Is that good, bad? The biggest mistake you're now making is starting with the wire touching the metal. Start with wire 1/4 inch out from the nozzle. Called stick out. Keep the wire 1/8 of the way when you pull the trigger. Got it? Yeah, it's because I keep... Oh, I dripped sweat on it again. Dang it. Hang on 1 second. How are we now? Better? You need a boom mic hanging over the trunk? Yeah, the lapel mic ain't cutting it, huh, dude? Oh, my goodness. I am sweating my balls off here. We good now? The mic is better? Thank you. Wow. Like you know, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's really, really toasty in here, but that's okay. It's all right. I don't really have an option here, except fork out a bunch of money that you guys gave me to spend on this to spend on a heat pump, but I'm not doing that. I can find a heat pump secondhand, and we'll go from there. Anyway. How's that looking, dudes? Hey, FYI, what's going on, man? It doesn't look bad. I mean, for tack welding, you know, it would look better if we seam welded, but I'm not good enough to do that. Yeah, Ian, I know what you mean, dude. That is not what tack welding looks like. Oh, okay. Thank you. I don't know what you mean, Takezo. What did I do to weld that in if not tack welding? Like what would you call what I did here other than you know, garbage? Like, if you're gonna be constructive, what did I just do there? Stitch welding it? Seam welding? All right. How hot is it around the shadow side? There ain't really no shadow side, dude. You went full force, bro. All right, well, I mean, that is kind of what I'm all about, dude. So, you know. I actually have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back 1 second. Bring the camera? Nah, you know, I don't think Twitch or YouTube would appreciate that. You know what I mean? Dude, I'm about to open the garage door. It's actually cooler outside, so we're gonna open this sucker wide. Oh yeah. Give an underside view, Paul? All right, give me 1 second, man. I meant in the washroom. Well, yeah, I don't think I can do that, man. You know, not that I would, but you know, that's fine. Let's look at the undercarriage. I'm like, you guys kind of are, you know. Twisted, it's about 90 outside. Or no, I have the weather, hold on. 86, it's 86 outside with about 60% humidity. It's pretty bad. But you would, that's all I need. Paul, don't be weird. Stop being weird. Stop being weird. Like I said, dudes, the heat doesn't bother me. I'm just worried. I'm worried about the equipment, and I'm kind of worried about myself getting dehydrated. But then again, if you have to pee, that means you're hydrated because that's you getting rid of excess. Yeah, I mean, Twisted, it was worse yesterday. It was 95 degrees out. It got up to like 90 in the office, dude. It really sucked. This doesn't, I don't know, for whatever reason, this doesn't, like, in my mind, it's not, like, as bad. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're, like, outside, you know? I tell you what I am going to do. We taking a cold shower on break. No, you can't watch, weirdos. Nice hat. Thanks. Oh, okay, can't see me. Got you. Starlink launch got pushed to 354. Oh, I was wondering what happened to that. Oh, man. It helps that you're not in direct sunlight. Not yet. So 5.7 is going in this car. Twisted, I have a 2004 Dodge Ram out there with a 5.7 Hemi in it. Yeah, that's what I ultimately want to put in this car. Car right now is a 318 car, so whatever. As far as I can tell, that is the matching numbers motor though, which is pretty cool. I am going to keep the 318. I'm not getting rid of that. That's just cool. I'd like to maybe build it someday, put it in something else, but the way I see it is like this. You could, if I put $1,000 into the 318, you can get a 318 that makes like 300 horse, maybe. You know, you put some nice heads on it, put a nice cam on it, you can make like 350. The 5.7 Hemi makes 350 out of the box. So if we put $1,000 into that 5.7 Hemi, we can make 450.
What's your opinion on Vsauce? I don't really watch Vsauce. So I'm thinking, you know, this car, 5.7 Hemi, making 350 to 400 horsepower. It's good enough for me, for now at least. We could put about 10, 20 grand into it if we have to, overnight parts from Detroit. I'm taking 5, guys. Yeah, I know I said the heat doesn't bother me, but my body is disagreeing with the mind right now. Starlink got delayed again. 2JZ. I've seen people, well, I haven't seen it. I've seen it on YouTube. I've heard of people putting 2JZs in B bodies, and they do haul. It's pretty cool, but yeah. It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here. I love the 5.7, 150,000 miles in your Challenger, no problem. Yep. Like I said, I will keep that 318 though. The one that when we started working on the car. To get the first thing I did with this car was get it running. We gotta get you back to the South Pole. It's too damn hot for a penguin to be just walking around here. I gotta send him back to the South Pole. Penguin, don't you dare run away. Come here, Mr. Penguin. I'm one of the good guys. Penguin, don't run. Oh. 5 turbos. The 318 could totally be used for a generator. It could. Stop looking at me, Swan. That's a lot of turbos going. That's called the staged compressor. Would need a new K-frame for a big block? No. Chrysler had 2 kinds of K-members for B-bodies in the 60s. They had a inline 6 one and a V8 one. I have a V8 one in this. This is a premium trim car, whatever the heck that means. So it's Coronet 500, which actually is kind of rare. They only made like maybe 3,500 Coronet 500s in '69. It's actually kind of a rare car. The thing is that no one cares because it has 4 doors. No one cares, so it's not really worth anything. I don't know, like this car in this condition is probably worth like 500 bucks because it has no trunk. Yeah, Ian, I don't need I have the V8 cross member up there, and the other thing with B-bodies is the V8 torsion bar. This has got front torsion bar suspension. You need the, I have V8 torsion bars and the V8 cross member to go with it because it's a premium trim car. Which is kind of cool. I mean, dude, you could put whatever. There's plenty of room in the engine bay there. Like I said, I've seen people do 2 JZ swaps in this thing without modifying the firewall. That's pretty damn cool. I wouldn't do it though. Well, I don't know, maybe with this car, that'd be kind of neat. But the 5.7 Hemi, I think, is a cool swap. I kind of want to keep it all Dodge, just because I think that's neat. I mean, personally, I think, like, there are some exceptions to this rule. I like to keep on brand. That's, like, one of the things that I like doing. So any Chrysler motor I would want to put in here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put a Toyota engine in this, even though it's 2 JZs in this car do haul. They're pretty damn fast. According to Zach Golden, they seem to be using mini engines pre-burners to vaporize LN2 and then push out 450,000 gallons of deluge water in about 60 seconds. I saw the turbines being moved yesterday. Elephant. Yeah, those cost about 10 G's, goalie, so 10 G's is more than the entire budget of this car. It's been a while since I looked into old Mopars. Was your life in the 80s? Ian, I'm a Ford guy, dude. Big Ford guy. I like Ford trucks. That's usually what I work on. But I do like 1960s Chrysler. 1960s Chrysler was awesome. They made some really cool cars, man. Like, really cool cars. Grind spray, weld to perch time. And rockets, and tanks, and boats, and trucks, and tanks, and trucks to move tanks. Everyone else is still using gravity for water deluge. ULA uses a nitrogen purge system, Mason, for Slick 41 and Slick 3. Antares uses gravity. Rocket Lab uses gravity, if I'm remembering right. They have a water tower next to that electron pad at Wallops. Cooler without the jacket. Dylan McCool on YouTube did a 5.7 swap in an E-body. I watched Dylan McCool, yeah. That cornbread car that he's working on is pretty sweet. That 68 Coronet Coupe. That's a pretty cool car. His trunk repair was a little more low buck than mine. I don't know if you watched that. His trunk repair for that 68 Coronet was a little, yeah, we'll call it less expensive. He nailed a piece of wood between the frame rails to get them to stay still. I regret not buying a 69 Charger in the 90s, although I'm pretty sure I'd have wrecked it as... Ian, if I had a 68 Charger at any point in my 20s, yeah, I would have crashed that. Yeah. I can't take the jacket off. The mic's hooked to the jacket. No, I'll just leave it on. We're cooling off. I'm standing in the fan. Don't worry about it. I'd be 6 feet under. Yeah, most of us would, goalie. Can you imagine in the 80s, dude? Those cars, like a 68 440 Magnum 4-speed car, like $1,000. Those cars were not wanted in the 80s, right? They just weren't wanted. Freaking... You could walk into one of those for the same price that you can walk into like a 2000 Civic, which is, oh yeah, no, yeah, that's probably for the better that I wasn't a part of that. That's probably for the better. I would have crashed that. I would have drove it right up a tree. I would have driven that right up a tree, man. Even now, a 68 Charger wouldn't do you good, for real. They were cheap back in the 80s. My father-in-law had a blown 440 in a 73 Challenger at 17. Hey, I walked into this car for $1,400, and after I put about $5,000 into it, it's going to be running and driving with about 400 horse. That's kind of cool. I've been thinking, like, you know, once the shell is all good, I might just keep the 318 in there for now. Just keep it in there. But pull the 5.7 Hemi and all of its harness, right? Pull it out of the Dodge, get rid of the Dodge, get rid of the truck, right? And build the Hemi, you know? Build the Hemi over the winter. My goal is to have this car moving under its own power by September. Like, it needs to go. And that's going to happen one way or another. Still have the 5.7 on an engine test stand. Yeah, exactly. We'll We'll go from doing body work to building an engine. That should be fun. I've never done that before. Well, I haven't done that in 20 years. I put together a small block Chevy in auto shop in high school, which is easy. What kind of build though? Because for 400, it's not even a build. It's breathing in its general direction. I don't know. Fans everywhere. It's hot, man. It's hot. No, that's hot. All right. Let me shut the welder and the gas off here for now, and let's get back to work. Sorry, guys. I'm not procrastinating, believe it or not. I ran out of gas there for a second. I was just... Does your 5.7 have the stupid MDS? I don't think they had MDS in 2004, but guys, like, that's the thing. If it does have MDS on it, I've been reading about those 5.7s, and this is what I mean. We're not going to build it, but if we have a 5.7 and if that thing has MDS in it, I can't kind of tell it's under a bunch of stuff. We're going to have to take the MDS out. And if you're going to take the MDS out, you might as well replace the lifters and cam while you're at it, while you're doing the same thing, right? Because you already have the motor apart. The Hemis are with the multi-displacement system. So what that is you have 8 cylinders, right? And it shuts off these, and it runs off of 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And what happens is that the lifters don't get oil because they're not moving, right? The MDS shuts them off, right? And when it turns back on, it runs the lifters for a split second without any oil. And what happens is over time, the lifters don't get enough lubrication and they fail. So Hemis are notorious for this. They get bad lifter tick with motors with MDS. So if we're going to take the MDS out, I'm replacing the lifters in the cam. Which means we got to take apart the entire top of the motor, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to once over that whole thing and make sure it's good. I don't need to take apart the lower end of that motor. It's got 70,000 miles on it. We maybe check the cap journals, and that's about it. It should be good if it's an 04, but for kicks and giggles, say it has it and get a choppy cam. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, we could just take the motor out and put it in this. But if there is lifter tick and there is something wrong, that just means we're going to have to take it out later. Might as well do it while the motor's out. And that's what I mean about building this in stages. Right now, my big thing is to just get the shell A-OK. I do not care what motor is in this thing right now. That's not of concern to me. Like, right now. Get it running and driving. Build it up right. And get rid of all the rust, cake this thing in undercoating, make sure we have all the rust preventative techniques that they did from the factory, right? And more. Oh man, I don't feel good all of a sudden. That's not good. And then start making it go faster. Sorry. Hydrate. That's what I mean, dude. We did all that welding and my body just said no. I mean, I might need to stop and take a break, dude. Diabetic, I'm an asshole living in South Carolina. I see people dropping at the beach every day. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Oh. Wow. Dude, My stomach's upset. Like cuttlefish and asparagus upset. Woo! Oh, dude, this thing is soaked. It's like it's like I was in a pool. Are you staying hydrated? I've drank 3 bottles of water here. That's heat exhaustion? Yep. The door is already open, guys. Yeah. Friendly neighborhood spider medic. Stop. Sip small amounts of water. I mean, it doesn't help that I got 3 hours of sleep last night because of the Axiom launch. That's probably what's doing me in, guys. But we did make some good progress today. I'm happy. Nap time? You should probably lie down for a second. All right, Sun Temple, see you, buddy. No American Italian car mechanic should do work on a car without an ice cold Pironi. All right, I'll buy some, man. Bet. Oh, man. I might need to go down to the bathroom, dudes. Oh, shoot. Either that or I'm about to let out the most gnarly fart you've ever heard. Oh, here it comes. Oh, it's going to be a rot. Do you have Gatorade or Powerade? I'll probably tell Bree to go grab me some, dude. 3:54. It's about 30 minutes to launch. All right. We'll stop for now. I might come back and keep working on it, dudes. But we do have that Starlink launch. You know, we made good progress today, but yeah, I'm not really satisfied with how much we made, but that's just how it is, man. This is a slow and tedious process. I'm not rolling that dice on stream, so guys, what I'm gonna do is, and there's the Dodge, by the way. What I'm going to do is, yeah, I'll cool off and I'll be back for the Starlink launch. I'm gonna take the break early, do the Starlink launch, and go right into Space News, okay? And then summer car for after hours. Yeah, I gotta stop. I'm gonna. I gotta go. I'll take a cold shower. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna shut the YouTube VOD. You guys know the drill. And I'll be back for the Space and Rocket review and the Starlink launch here. I'm gonna go cool off for a second, and we'll go from there. But we did get that thing patched. We made some good progress today. Not as much as I wanted, but either way, I'll be back in a little bit. Stand by for a loss of signal as expected.